All right. Let me just make sure that. Oh, see, you're not supposed to see that yet. may have spoiled the thing. Oopsie. Nobody saw that. That's what happens when I fuck up my sources. Pardon me for being a dumbass. Anyway, we're back. We are back, and we are chill chatting now. That was fun. I had a good time. But yeah, there's been quite a few things this month that made me flip my lid and have a wonderful time, and this was actually one of them because I really genuinely enjoyed every second of that. I'm a much harsher critic on myself than literally anyone else, and I noticed that a lot. But that's because I don't know. I don't even want to consider myself a musician. That's how critical of myself I am. But maybe my dad, like, I'll talk about my dad a bit more because he's my inspiration for a lot of stuff. But my dad calls that sort of mentality Ozzy Osbourne syndrome, where you essentially you think that you're far worse than you actually are, and you constantly strive to improve because you know you can be better. And he calls it Ozzy Osbourne syndrome because Ozzy Osbourne is known to be that kind of person where he's constantly like a perfectionist, needs everything to go a certain way. And yeah, I see that 100%. But no, that was fun. I had a really good time with that. Of all the things I'd say I'm passionate about, I'd say guitar is definitely my number one. I'd say it's something that not only I can take solace in the fact that I kind of know what I'm doing with it, but also like genuinely enjoy my time handling the instrument, you know? It's just fun. It's just fun stuff. And for anyone like thinking about playing an instrument or learning as we speak, who knows? The only thing I can say is everything takes time. Like as someone who's very impulsive and doesn't pick up stuff if it feels like it's going to take a very long time. Everything takes time, and you always have to start somewhere. There's nothing you can't do. Like, just putting that on the floor. There's nothing you can't do. You cannot be perfect at everything, but there is nothing that you cannot do if you set your mind to it. I'm serious here. I mean, think about it this way. Let's say that, this is just an anecdote, but let's say that you want to be a pro wrestler. Let's say you're a scrawny little kid. Let's say that you don't have any muscle mass. It takes forever to grow muscle mass. You don't know how you're even supposed to like sign up or do anything like that. I have seen people like go to NXT and WWE and WWF, you name it. They look like twigs. They look like fucking twigs. However, they can throw a bitch across a ring because they've practiced A, technique, and B, strength training. Like, even if you can't build muscle mass, there is technique to everything. You can completely reverse someone's momentum in a ring and just absolutely demolish them. But that's like a wrestling example. I know, super like guy thing. And I don't even watch WWE anymore. But my point still stands. If it's something that you believe is achievable to you, if you put your mind to it, you 100% can do it. I'm serious. And I've learned that at least with guitar, because I come from a musical family. I do. With guitar, at the very minimum, you can pick up the instrument, you can play a couple things and not feel like you know what you're doing. You give it a day. You kind of understand how to place your fingers on the frets, and you know where the pick goes and how to strike it. You give it a week. You know, like, basic chords. Maybe. You give it a month. Now you're moving the chords across the fretboard. You give it a year. Now you're moving those chords across the fretboard and changing the chords and mixing in new stuff that you learned along the way. And it just happens like that. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be drawing. It could be your job. It doesn't matter. Everything's about perseverance, everything's about effort, and everything takes time. That's the three things that I have learned. And it's very difficult for me to pick up hobbies regularly, purely for the fact that I hate that time commitment. I can say as someone who has at least one hobby, it's a very difficult time commitment. Like, very fucking difficult. Sincerely. But, you know, that's besides the point. To backtrack a little to what I was going to talk about before, because I mentioned my dad. My dad is a wonderful person. I love my dad to death. He's gone through hell and back on quite a few occasions, like, in life. And he's come out the other side being a very well-rounded person. He and my mom introduced music to me at, like, an impossibly young age, like, before I was even born. You probably can understand how. It was that old thing where, like, oh, if you place headphones and you play Bach and Mozart and other classical music, you'll end up with a smart kid. Supposedly. I don't know. I don't know if that's for a fact. But yeah, no. We're a musical family. My granddad played saxophone in a jazz band when he was young, and actually grew up and became not only a session musician for jazz bands, but also a history teacher. So he's got some purple ribbons on him. And my dad got his first guitar when he was 16. He built it with my granddad, and has been playing for a majority of his life now, like far and away a majority of his life. And he's been, I won't say he's been my primary inspiration because I'm very independent, but I say he definitely kickstarted me down the right path. He introduced me to guitar when I was, how old was I? 14. And it was after quite a few musical hula hoops, because when I was 6, I played drums and dropped that. No, sorry. When I was between 6 and 8, I played drums and I dropped that. When I was 11, I played piano for 9 months with actual lessons, and then I dropped that. But my mom knew I had potential, so she asked my dad to teach me how to play guitar. And 3 years after I dropped piano, why'd I drop drums? I don't know. I think it was just because I was too young to really understand what the hell I was getting into. So again, nothing wrong with playing drums. I think that drums are absolutely insane. I've seen people on YouTube utterly smash the damn things, but I think I was just too young, in all honesty. Anyway, like 3 years after I dropped piano, because I just didn't have the passion for it. My dad pulled me to a guitar center, literally a guitar center, and he bought me, what was it? I think it was an Ibanez G10, which is not a cheap instrument. It was like $250. It was a pretty expensive first guitar, but my dad trusted me. And I picked up that thing, and it took me quite a while to play drums, but just do not. Hey, that's actually sick. Like, legitimately, drums are awesome. But yeah, I picked up the guitar for the first time when I was 14. That was I think July of that year that I turned 14. And after about a year of playing, I could meander my way through tunes. I could. It was not 100%, but it was there, and I definitely put some effort in. So there's that. But at the same time, everything takes time. First sight love with the guitar. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's my one, like, actually something I'm semi-decent at now. So maybe it was. But like back in 2014, I was playing like Tool. I was playing punk songs like Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones. Like, that was, I think, the first song I ever played all the way through. I'm sad I didn't include an Alice in Chains song, because my dad loves Alice in Chains, and I probably should have added that to the set list, but I couldn't think of anything to add. But I was playing them too. And when was it? After, I'm gonna say it was 3 years of playing. I think it was a solid 3.5 years of playing, something along those lines. For another anecdote on top of that, a year before I picked up guitar for the first time, my dad started a cover band with friends, all like in their mid late 40s. So it was all people of a similar age. But my dad's a musician, and he's been a musician for all his life. He started like writing and composing and all that stuff when he was relatively young. He was in a an original band in like 2000 to around 2005. So they were together for about 5 years before life took over. And no, I actually wasn't part of the reason why the band broke up. It was another band member. Because I was like a kid at the time, like a very young kid. Anyway, but he dropped that and was not a fan of music for, yeah, I really like my dad. I think he's awesome. He wasn't a fan of music for a long time. He like burned himself out on it. And then in 2013, he started up a cover band with some friends. And he was doing that for, I'm going to say 4 years. And then, life took over again. And one of his bandmates left. And then another one got swapped out for a drummer who was an absolute spastic. He was crazy. He wasn't necessarily on time 100% of the time, but he could feel like a madman. Anyway, that's another story for another time. But when I was about 17. Yeah, when I was about 17. I did a sneaky thing because at that point I'd been playing guitar for about 3.5 years. So I was proficient to a degree where I could feasibly get through stuff. But I would do a sneaky thing where my dad, because he has a little studio downstairs. It's all like, he's a self-made guy. He has his own PA system and all that. And he would get his lads to come with him downstairs, and they would just jam out some cover songs. Didn't matter what genre it was. They'd play rock, they'd play metal, you name it, they'd play it. And they were pretty damn good. But I was like, hey, I wonder, if I play at the same time, I wonder if that'll fill in. Like it was in my room, I was quiet, I wasn't doing anything. But I would play along to their cover songs. And over time, I slowly started inching my way out of the door that was next to the studio. And my dad, one day, was like, I've never played with another guitar player before. And I'm very proud of you, son. What do you say we play together and we play in this cover band? And I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll give it a shot. So I joined my dad's cover band. Mind you, I was a teenager at the time. I was just barely becoming an adult, and I was surrounded by a bunch of 45-year-old, 50-year-old guys, impressing the shit out of them because apparently my dad thought I was better than him, and he had been playing for almost 30 years. No, I'm not, but okay, guys. But I was in my dad's cover band for, almost 4 straight years. Almost 4 straight years I was in that band. And we had a ball. Like, my dad never could have believed that another guitar player could have filled in the mix like it did. And he could take lead parts and I could do the rhythm part, because I'm a rhythm guitarist. I'm not a lead guitarist. But he could do the lead part and I could do the rhythm part. So we played out. We played out a couple times. There were some really big gigs that I had an absolute blast with. There was a pretty expensive photographer who ended up taking some nice pictures, and my dad still uses it as his on his Facebook page, because he still has a Facebook. He's old fashioned. But anyway, we were jamming along quite nicely, and we were doing pretty well until boom. What do you think happened? Yep, that's right. The world shut down. And when the world shuts down, you can't go out in public, can't gig, can't really play. So things started falling apart and people couldn't show up and everyone was like locked inside and you know the whole story. So it kind of fell to pieces, sadly. But I definitely enjoyed my time in hindsight. In the middle, I was very restless because I was playing a lot of cover songs of both songs that I really liked, songs that I didn't like as much, because, it has to be varied. But at the same time, I wanted to play my own stuff. Like, I wanted to, sit down and, I like this song. Ooh, I like this song. Ooh, I like this song, But I was getting restless, and I was, in the moment, I was like, I don't really want to be part of this anymore. This was, at the very tail end. But in hindsight, I really enjoyed my time there, because it taught me a lot, and I definitely improved quite a bit by having a live band with me, playing with me at the same time. And right now, I'm in Japan. Right now, I am 4,000 miles away from my parents and their home in the States. And my dad has picked up music again after 2.5 years. He's got some buddies. He's playing with them. The old drummer, when he first started his cover band back in 2013, is back with him. They're very good friends. So, and they're tight. They're very clean, and they mesh really well together. Of course, because as is true with all rock bands, he's rotated through about 2 or 3 different bassists, because bassists are fucking crazy. I don't know why, it's just a trend. But yeah, he started playing music again, and not only that, he started writing music again, which honestly blows me away, because at this point, my dad is in his 50s, and the fact that he still keeps his passion for music alive, honestly, is such a huge inspiration for me, because I love my dad, and I'm happy that he has that passion, because his day job's not exactly the most entertaining thing in the world. He's been working a delivery service for 30 years. Not exactly the most bright and sunshiny day every single day. So the fact that not only does he now take his guitar on his truck with him and just play when he has lunch breaks, but he writes stuff down, he works things out. Like, he's enjoying himself after a very long time of, like, just kind of going through the motions, and I'm really glad for that. My dad's gonna retire in about, I think, 5 or 6 years, so that's when he'll be able to really exercise his passions. But for now, he's getting back into it, and I'm really happy for him. I've obviously maintained that passion for the full 9 years that I've been playing, almost nine. And I think that I honestly, like, music as a whole is awesome. It really is. It doesn't matter what genre is your favorite. It doesn't matter what band is your favorite. If you can listen to someone make music and you go, damn, this song really hits me, that's the goal. That is the goal. That is how music is supposed to be. 100%. And it's for some people that's a tough pill to swallow, and I don't know why, because music is like a global language. There's elitism. There's people who are like, oh, you have bad taste. No, it's all subjective. The only time it's bad is if it's, like, actually bad. Like, people who have never played an instrument a day in their life. That's when it's actually bad. Because you need proficiency to, like, actually make melodies and such. But then you'll get the people who are like, oh, but that's avant-garde. No, if you haven't played the instrument before, that's not good. You're not good for doing nothing. Sorry. But, like, honestly, it really doesn't matter. It just depends on what you vibe most with. And for me, it's rock and metal music, because I love the sound of guitars. I love things being both heavy and clean at the same time. I like melodies. I like adding in different, I like when bands add in different things. It's all wonderful. It really is. But yeah, my take on music is not everyone's take on music. Not only that, my interest in music is very sporadic and kind of all over the place. But that doesn't mean I can't vibe with stuff that I don't normally listen to. I grew up on pop music. Like, when I was younger, I would listen to pop music all the time. I might not listen to it much now, just purely because it's a genre that I don't mesh with, but that doesn't mean I hate it. And there are some talented people. There are some talented fucking people in this world, I kid you not, who are just nobody knows about. And that's at least the nice thing about music, is it has a reach that nothing else truly does. Like, I won't say that nothing else has a reach that music does, but music has a unique reach where it's like art. They're very intertwined. You can draw a beautiful image and everyone's going to interpret it as at least a good-looking image. You can write a beautiful song and everyone's going to interpret it as at least a pretty good song, even if you don't understand what the hell they're saying. Because that's another thing. Language doesn't matter. I mean, you could literally sing about the most vulgar, disgusting thing ever in German, and no one would know if they listen to it and they don't speak German. Case in point, Rammstein. That's who I'm referencing there. But yeah, it's all just kind of a wibbly wobbly, musicy woozy sort of thing. And I hate like looping back on myself, but I love music. It's like, if someone asked me, I probably said this once. If someone asked me, because this is an old, like, would you rather? If someone asked me, would you rather, what's a language? Would you rather go blind or go deaf? I would, honestly, here's the deal. I do a lot of things with my eyes. I play games. I look for things. Eyes are very fucking important. But if someone asked me if I would rather go blind or deaf, I would say blind, no hesitation. And the reason why is because I need my fucking ears. I really need my ears. If I went blind, I could make do. You'd be amazed with how much you can entertain yourself with sound alone. And with tactile as well. Like, you can hug a stress ball, or someone can read a book to you, which is also ears. So, but yeah, if I went deaf, I'd be fucked. I'd be completely fucked. I could see, I could do everything that requires sight, but I could never listen to music again. I could never listen to voices again. I could never listen to, I could never listen again. And that just terrifies me. That completely terrifies me. As a case in point thing, if you were a blind guy and you walked out in traffic, you could hear the car coming. So you would probably, at least with your eyes not being, working, you could at least like turn around and use your walking stick to find your way back to the other side of the road. If you were deaf and you weren't paying attention and you walked in the middle of the street, you'd get hit by a car in 2 seconds because you can't hear the fucking car. You cannot hear the car. You might be able to see the car, but if you're oblivious, you're gonna get fucking hit by the car. And you have no reaction time because you can't hear the damn thing coming. But that's a very loaded example, but I think it gets my point across of, like, hearing is so important to me. Hearing is like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to live without being able to hear for 100%. We wouldn't be able to listen to this wonderful BGM in the background without the ability to hear. And honestly, I like saying that probably makes me sound pretty pretentious because, like, oh, you actually can hear, and there's people who are legally deaf. I know that. I'm aware of that, and I have tremendous respect for all the stuff that they go through. Thankfully, closed captioning is a thing that exists, so you can still enjoy things you would normally be able to hear by reading. American Sign Language, any other international sign language, you name it. It's awesome. It's cool. But anyway, yeah, I'm sort of rambling here, but you get it. It's like, if I couldn't hear, I wouldn't know what to do with myself because I would lose a lot of what brings me joy, in all honesty. And I'm a huge music nerd. I'm a huge music buff. If I find music that I really enjoy, okay. So I've been playing music and rhythm games pretty much this whole month, yeah? Right? Yeah. Every single time, of course, every single time that I have played a rhythm game, and I have found a soundtrack or something that has just meshed right with my ears, even Fuser on Wednesday, my reactions are both slightly over-exaggerated for the sake of, I'm performing, I'm doing a stream, but also genuine, also extremely genuine. I am genuinely blown back by some of the shit that I hear in these games. I'm not kidding you. It's fan-fucking-tastic when I hear music like that. And I'm like, whoa, yeah, that's real. That's real. That's me really in my head going, holy shit, this is awesome. But the thing is, Fuser, yeah, I loved Fuser. That was so good. The thing is, streaming gives me the ability to take all this, all this normal, whoa, that's so cool, and translate it into voice. Because you can't hear my fucking thoughts. You're not psychic. Nobody here's psychic. Kind of wish we were. But at the same time, that'd be creepy. So, my point is, like, I love music. I really do. And, okay, yeah, no, fair. I love music. I really do. And when I react to like new stuff, it's genuine. It's in a genuine place. When I played Metal Hellsinger, because that game stuck with me so much because I really yeah, fair. When I played Metal Hellsinger a couple weeks back, and I heard that soundtrack for the first time, I was floored. I was absolutely floored. I couldn't believe that some of the guest musicians were in that game that were fucking Matt Heafy from Trivium. Goddamn. But yeah, like not only was the game stylish as hell and it was very Doom adjacent, the music was on point. It sucks that it was so short and I had to like tune the difficulty down because that final boss fight was an ass. But yeah, that music was a kick ass. That music was so good. And as someone who's like rock and metal music, yeah, no shit. But there's been a couple games this month that I was way more into the music, right? It felt like old metal vibes, and I love that to death. There were a couple games that I was absolutely there for the music 100%. And there were a couple that I was there for the gameplay, like BVM Bullets Per Minute, I was much more there for the gameplay, even though the soundtrack was great. Muse Dash is obviously a rhythm game, there for the music. And I can't believe that Arknights was in fucking Muse Dash. I can't believe that happened. I'm still utterly blown away. Yes, it was a metal album cover. Very fair. But I'm still blown away by that, really, sincerely. And it's all really cool. But, like, here's the thing. When music and gaming come together is when my mind explodes. Case in point, one of the games I had so very much fun with was Just Shapes and Beats. Yeah, I love the Arknight songs. I fucking love those. But Just Shapes and Beats, that was my first run through of that game. I had heard one song, and it was the Pegboard Nerd song from Just Shapes and Beats. That was the only song that I had heard from the entire soundtrack before I played that game. And just from start to finish, that game rocketed up my favorite games list so unbelievably fast. If I had those Men in Black neuralizers that could wipe my memory, I would wipe fucking Just Shapes and Beats from my memory so I could relive that all over again. I had a fucking blast with Just Shapes and Beats. Oh my god, I enjoyed that game so much. Yes, it was great. And the graphics were so good. Everything was so sharp and crisp and everything moved beautifully and it was all fucking shapes. It's all shapes. On top of that, another game that I don't know if I'll play Just Shapes and Beats again. Because to me, that was very much a one and done deal. You beat the story all the way through. You beat a bunch of stages on the hardcore difficulty. And I don't know, maybe it doesn't have that much replay value to me specifically, but it's great. If I come back to it in the future, I'll definitely, oh gosh, it's so good. But one game I'm definitely gonna play again because it's not done. And I kept pushing it off. I pushed it off for like a week and a half, is gonna be A Dance of Fire and Ice. A Dance of Fire and Ice is a rhythm game that I sincerely think that I'm doing pretty good at. Like, I don't know where the hell I gained the ability to I think it was just grinding. I honestly think it was just grinding. But I was terrible. I was utterly terrible. I played up to, Up to World 12 on the very first time that I streamed it. Yeah, I think it was World 12. All the way up to World 12. And when I got there, I struggled through both Heracles and something Chariot. Sorry, I can't remember the first moniker off the top. Yeah, it's about learning the songs, 100%. But by the time I came back to the second round, I beat Heracles in 2 tries. And then it was off to Neocosmos, and Neocosmos destroyed me again. But now, I might have to scrub some of the rust off the gears because it's been a couple weeks. But now, I have segment pure perfected Third Sun. I segment pure perfected that. I haven't done a full run getting everything perfect because that's hard. That's still very hard. But Third Son is just genuinely fun to play. Like, just legitimately fun to play. The song, too, it's so all over the damn place, but it's just so fucking fun. And when I come back to it, probably next week. Yeah, that's the 3-ball song. Yeah. That's TX4, I think it's called. When I come back to it, I'm probably going to do it next week. I've done enough pushing it off. When I come back to it, I'm definitely going to open up with Heracles and Third Son, so I can really make sure that I'm warmed up properly. And then I still have to beat 5. I still have to beat World 5 in Neocosmos, which I played for maybe 5-10 minutes and didn't even get past 10%. So that's going to be a fun time. I'm both really looking forward and really hating life. Try playing some customs. I was in a call with some friends to sort of give them a perspective on Identifier Nice, because I was practicing Third Son at the time. And I showed off some of the customs, and oh my god. I thought the fucking Neocosmos stuff was hard. The customs are ridiculous. The customs ask you to have 12 fingers on each hand for some of them. I know you can do it with 8 buttons. I know that's like, you can do it with 4 fingers on each hand and you can be really dexterous. I'm doing it with 2. I'm over here with 2 fingers and you're asking me to hit like 50 ticks per second on Rushy. I can't fucking do that. I know that someone like, I don't know any like top level Edify players. Yeah, of course Kamelia's. Kamelia's in fucking everything these days. Come on. Kamelia's in everything. But I know that like top players of Edify can hit shit like that, and I can't. I just picked up the game this month. But it's great. It's fantastic. Speaking of top level players, yeah, Project Diva. Project Diva is probably my rhythm game of choice as of right now, and it still is going to be. For one, I love Hatsune Miku. 2, I love Vocaloid music, and I've loved it for a long time. And 3, I don't know why, just the PlayStation Osu mix sort of deal. Introduce you to Plum. Yeah, Plum's good. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the with Project Diva, the combination of like Osu-esque pop on screen with PlayStation controller controls, because I'm a hardcore controller player. I barely play shit with keyboard. But yeah, I enjoy that so much, and there's so many Vocaloid songs that I've heard over the years that are in that game, and I've also modded them in. Case in point, that Utsupi song that I just fucking played, not 30 minutes ago. But yeah, like, sincerely, like, Project Diva, at least the Megamix Plus version, I love that game. I love that game to death. I might not be, like, expert level Hisoki at it, because for fuck's sake, he could destroy charts. But I have fun nonetheless, and I'm there for both the music and the rhythm game in that case. You know what? I'm gonna shout out Eden Project again. I'm gonna fucking shout out Eden Project again. I did it like 3 or 4 times when I played Project Diva. But there are a group of high-level players and modders who got together and modded in, I think, 168 songs. 168 songs into Megamix Plus that were not in the base game. Fully charted. Some of them have 3D PVs. Fucking absurd level of quality. And some of them have multi-charts too. Like multiple difficulties of charts charted by different people. And it's fucking crazy. And honestly, shout out to them for making a kick-ass mod for that game. Ooh, Mimi makes good Vocaloid music. Hang on. Looking that one up. I also still have Comeback Kid on lock. So don't you worry none about that. Alright, we will backtrack that later. Got more music to listen to. Anyway. Yeah, I love Vocaloid music. I gushed about this before. And sincerely, I think that there's some fantastic producers who make great stuff, and then they end up going on and a case in point, very famous Vocaloid producer sent one of their tracks in the DC. All right. I will check that later, obviously. But one of the best Vocaloid producers of all time is a guy named Hachi, who is better known these days as Kenshi Yonezu, who is a very, very well-known Japanese artist who both sings and composes, and he's fan-fucking-tastic. And he started off as a Vocaloid guy. Think about that. You start off making tunes with synthetic vocals, and you blow up and become one of the most prominent musicians in Japan today. Like, that's... Dude, like, it's a huge community, and there's so many talented people. Yeah. I was gonna bring him up, but that's a sad story. Not to bring the mood down, but, like... He was a fucking inspiration and a half. He inspired so many... people... There's so many producers today that say Wawaka is the primary reason they started writing. And the fact that he passed away so young is just a kick in the teeth. It sucks. It sucks so bad. We could have had so much more. But, you know, that's how music goes. Like, there's been... It's not just him. Like, that's just a trope, it seems. Talented musician, dead at 30. Talented musician, dead at 32. Talented musician, dead at 35. Cool. Can we have any people that are alive and are talented, please? It just sucks. It just sucks. But yeah, he made some fantastic tunes. That's why I FC'd Rolling Girl. That's why I wanted to perfect Rolling Girl, out of respect for Wawaka, because that song is awesome. And I think they still play it to this day at Project Mirai, which is such a huge tribute. I think they tributed him in 2019 as well, which was, I think that's when he passed away, which that was huge. It was either 2017 or 2019. I get my years confused. But yeah, that was a sad time, definitely. But in the wake that he left, there has been some seriously talented people who have come out of that. I mean, today we have Deco 27, we have Utsupi, we have Yuyo Yuppei, we have Pinocchio P, who's making some great music. We have Hiroagi Kirai, who's using V4 Flower to make some great stuff. And they've been doing it for like 5 years, some of them 10. And they're talented motherfuckers. That's fair. That's fair. The main criticism I see with Deco is all of his choruses are the same, which I could see that. I can 100% see that. I don't know. They're very high energy tunes, and I get down with them. Especially Vampire. That's a good song. But hey, again, music's subjective. And I'm not one to deride someone's opinion, and two, I will absolutely be critical of stuff that I like. So I would hopefully be a well-rounded person. Like all the bands and all the people that I say are fucking talented and crazy good and all that, they've had some stinkers. Everybody has some stinkers. It's not perfect 100% of the time. You know how it is. It's all over the fucking place. Usually the dark and bassy ones, yeah. There's some crunchy fucking Vocaloid music. Some people do drum and bass, some people do full-on dubstep, and either way it works. Because in essence, the Vocaloid, or at least Yamaha's Vocaloid program, is an instrument. It's vocals, they're saying words, but it's an instrument. Alienated might not be a perfect example, but as the basic idea. Oh, I've heard that one, yeah. That is a good idea. That is a good example, I mean. Ooh, I like fun facts. Camellia did, yeah, I had a feeling. Well, I'm just making sure that it's the song that I'm thinking of. Oh, it's not. Hang on, that's a different artist. Sorry, oh, it's Canaria. Oopsie. Okay, I'm sorry for like screwing that up, but I got Canaria and Camellia slightly confused because their phonemes sound a little similar. Canaria does primarily Vocaloid music. Camellia does primarily EDM stuff with the occasional Vocaloid song. I was thinking of King. That's what I was like, oh yeah, Camellia does Vocaloid music. No, it's Canaria. Oopsie. Whoa, I went all over the place. Sorry about that. I was taking a drink. But yeah, not to ramble on for too long, but yeah, Vocaloid is both an avenue to fantastic artists, And just people having a good time. And Vocaloid is, like I said, it's an instrument. It's an instrument in all of itself. Vocaloid stuff is yeah, that's fair. I mean, Camellia is way more known for the EDM stuff. So, and also on top of that, there are a ton of people who do covers of Vocaloid music, and that's a way for people to get their fucking voice out there. You know, like that's crazy. Your case in point, like one of the most respected female singers right now, Otto, started as a utaite covering fucking Vocaloid songs. And then she started doing originals and everyone was like, holy shit, what the fuck? And yeah, now she's like one of the most popular female singers. And she started when she was like 17, which is nuts. Well, she started before that, but she released her original music when she was 17, which is nuts. It's an avenue to like, for good artists. And that's true with anything. Video game music, fucking all the fucking shit, you know? Sorry, I'm like all over the place, but my idea. Some of the Udaites right now, like Soror, ooh, nice. Or Mafama, oh really? Wow. But yeah, like it's just people who cover Vocaloid music and do a fantastic job at it, and it's really great. I've talked about Vocaloid for a while now. didn't mean to go off on this tangent, but that's how these chatting things work. It's been fun though. We're on a wrap. Oh yeah. Right now, for perspective, it is almost 1:30 a.m., which means it is April 1st in Japan. So March is officially over. Oh, sad. I know. But for most people, it's still the 31st, so March is still vibing. But I've had a very wonderful March. It's been kind of all over the place on a personal level for a couple reasons. I've been bouncing off the walls a bit, but I've had a lot of good memories, both streaming and doing stuff. So cover the Solar System Disco song, which slaps. Their custom rap parts is so fucking okay. Hold on. Again, not reacting on stream, but I'm opening up tab after tab after tab. But yeah, like March has been a blast. I've had way too much fun this month. All right, Solar System. I'm gonna have a lot of music to listen to. It's a good thing I'm going on break for 2 days after this, which I normally don't take a break on the weekends. I normally go right into Saturday. But yeah, nah. I think it's much needed after adding a stream last week and doing what I've been doing for the past week or so, really cramming all the stuff. I'll get to that. I will get to that. But anyway, what else to talk about? For some reason, feel bad recommending. No, it's fine. Listen. I do not in any way turn down people's recommendations. I don't. If it's a bad song and I don't like it, I will say that I didn't like it. I will. If it's a good song and I like it, I've added something to my Spotify. That's how I feel. That is how I feel. And listen, I used to work a part-time job. And the part-time job allowed us to use speakers because it was an open, I was a dishwasher. I'm just going to tell you, I was a dishwasher. It was for money. I got money so I could spend it on stuff. You know how it is. But we were allowed to use speakers. They were nice enough to let us use speakers because it was a very loud restaurant that I worked in. And I had a bunch of people, hydrate on it. I had a bunch of people come by because I just played whatever's on my Spotify. I was nice. I didn't like overdo it. But I played whatever's on my Spotify and I had a bunch of people come down and say, whoa, is that Foo Fighters? Whoa, is it? And then one guy was like, whoa, is that Dream Theater? I was like, yeah, you know Dream Theater? He was like, yeah, absolutely. Of course it does, because it's blocking the camera. What was I saying? Yeah, and he suggested me a couple bands that I listen to even today, and I had a couple friends who I worked a lot with who got me back into like punk and quote unquote emo music, which, listen, I don't get why it's the moniker of emo music. You don't have to be sad about everything to listen to it. It's just good tunes. Anyway, I took their suggestions in stride, and they took my fucking speaker to the face, because I was going to enjoy the time that I was there, because I was there for 9 hours a day. Yeah, 9 fucking hours a day. I'm not even going to start with that story right now. But I had my speaker on, and would you want to listen to us? Oh, I like Rise Against. I do like Rise Against. But yeah, they were going to listen to my tunes whether they liked it or not. And I had a bunch of people suggest me shit. Of like, yeah, fuck you. Favorite song? Oh, fuck, it's been a while. Hold on. Sorry, while I pull up my Rise Against list of songs. It's one of those bands, you know, where I do like them. I like them a lot, but it hasn't come to the forefront of my memory in quite some time. I just have to find that one fucking song. I know which one it is too. And it might be basic for it, but is it Savior? I think it's Savior. Yeah, it's probably Savior. Give me 1 second. Yep, it's Savior. Just had to listen to a couple seconds of it. But yeah, that song is fantastic. I'm kind of all over the place with like punk music, because that is a punk band. The Violence and Audience of One. Remind me to listen to Rise Against later. Another band I have to add to the roster, but yeah, point still stands. But I'm very varied. Like, I'll listen to a bunch of different stuff. I found this one pop artist from fucking Britain named Nick Kershaw. And there's like 2 or 3 songs that I really gelled with because he incorporates like jazz chords into what would otherwise be pop music. And I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty fucking good. Like, I'm very eclectic. I think that's a good word. I'm very eclectic. Yeah, no, fair. That's fair. I try my best to play nice. I do. Pop music is not one of my strong suits. It's not my favorite. It really is not. I think there's too many artists nowadays who people are there for the looks and the autotune rather than the actual music, and I hate to be that guy, but it's kind of true. There are some genuinely talented people though in the whole popular music spectrum, but there's some oof. It's a living. I mean, the music industry is its own monster. Oh yeah, electro swing is great. You kidding? 110%. 110 fucking percent. But I at least like to think that I dabble in a lot of different stuff. I try. If something doesn't hit my ears correctly, there's a good reason for it. If something hits my ears correctly, there's a good reason for it. Some songs are instant favorites. Some songs are slow burners, where it takes a couple listens before I'm like, yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is fucking great. Ooh, anecdote. Because I thought this was a story worth... Yeah, Cuphead ST. I was thinking that exact thing. I didn't want to bring it up. Quick anecdote. So, I had a time where I was listening to the same 2 or 3 bands on loop for a long time. I wouldn't say I was very elitist, but I was very narrow-minded. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm fucking sick of this. I'm so fucking sick of this. And I scoured... You name it. I scoured fucking Reddit. I scoured YouTube. I scoured every different site where you can find people suggesting music. I was like, give me something. Give me fucking something. And I kid you not, I was sitting at my computer digging and digging and digging and digging for 2 hours to find a band that I was like, yeah, these guys are good. And I stumbled across a band from Australia, which I love Australia. I've said that a couple times. I really love Australia. There's a bunch of really fun stuff that comes out of Australia. But I found an Australian band called Caligula's Horse. If you never heard of them before, look them up. They're very good. They are not named literally after Caligula's horse. They are straight up named Caligula's Horse, which I find hilarious. But their musical genre, I'd say, is more in the line of like progressive metal, kinda. Like the song These Walls that we did before. It's similar in line to that. Oh yeah, 100%. I'll probably throw the. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I have Discord right here. Give me 1 second to post that in the music tab. Okay, yeah. I can just bring up Discord. Let me grab. Obviously, we're doing all this later. Let me grab this song. So to kind of wrap this story up in a nice, neat little bow. I was digging and digging and digging through different bands and different music, and I couldn't find one thing. And I found these guys, and I was like, this seems interesting. And I booted up this one song on YouTube. It is called Turntail. And I kid you not, I'm not a super emotional person. I like being happy. I like being angry. I have trouble expressing like intense emotion. I don't think it's because like I'm stunted or anything like that. I don't cry a lot, okay? I don't cry a lot. I'm not a crier. But you wouldn't believe the expression on my fucking face sitting for 2 hours digging through band after band after band and song after song after song and going, how do I like, none of this is really hitting me right. And I found this song. It's called Turntail. I'm not going to play it, obviously, copyright, but it's in the Discord. And I started crying. It hit me in such a way that I was not expecting, and it's probably still one of my favorite Caligula's Horse songs. I know the whole band back to front now. They're probably one of my favorite acts, just in general. They're so fucking good, and the vocalist is beyond awesome. He's got this voice that's unbelievably good. But yeah, if I bring them up ever again, it's because I fucking love them. But yeah, to TLDR, it was a band that literally caught me off guard and became probably my favorite band in an instant. I still love Dream Theater to death. I do. I've listened to them for probably as long as I've been playing guitar. But hey, I vibe with both. Pardon me while I add another tab in my browser. Because no, I have not heard of the Unguided. You give me suggestions. One of these will land, 100%. I know it for a fact. Anyway. Yeah, this has been... Legendary is a great song. All right. I wouldn't say I'm running out of time, but I might as well do the thing that I was working on, because I've rambled enough. I'm going to talk after, obviously, and kind of give a breakdown on what the deal is. Oh, symphonic metal! I love symphonic metal! All right. But I did have an announcement, and this will be on the VOD for anyone who wants to see it. Okay. It's when I say I've been pretty busy for the entire month of March, I mean it. I have been trying my damnedest both to juggle responsibilities and stream and play games with friends overseas because they're on a different time zone, and like actually want to get out of bed in the morning because there's been a couple days where I'm just like, I'm kind of lazy, or but I've been working on stuff, and it's like 75% of the way there, 75% of the way there. But I'm just gonna pull off the Band-Aid. I'm gonna switch to the scene real quick. We're gonna watch this together. It's only 1 minute and 30, and we'll come back and I'll explain what the hell is going on. Okay. So let me get rid of the set list here and throw up the image that I almost spoiled. Okay. This is the first time this is public knowledge to literally anybody. I have kept this whole thing, what I'm doing, a secret for, I'm not kidding you, almost 2 years straight. I have been working and writing music for almost 2 years and not told a soul what I've been up to. To give you some backstory, I try my absolute best to be original. It's hard. It's very difficult. I have been writing down riffs and little song quips and all these different things for the better part of 4 years. I have an entire folder on my main PC of, not kidding, like 200 little song clips of just riffs or bits or things that I've written down. And I said to myself about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago, I said, I want to fucking finish something. So I, like, over time, shower thoughts, different things, pieced together, like, different musical ideas in the best way that I could. And then, back in November, when I started, like, doing this whole streaming thing, I was like, you know what? I want to start streaming. I want to start doing stuff. And I also want to finish this whole musical thing. So, from around November to roughly January, I was on and off, like, putting stuff together, finishing stuff. February is when I started kicking into high gear, going like, all right, let me properly write all this stuff. Let me get things down. And March, yes, March, I wanted to try to get everything done by the end of March. And I didn't end up doing it because it's very difficult. It's very difficult to write material. It's very fucking difficult. But to give an exact rundown of what the hell this is, thank you so much. I am writing original music 100% myself. No outside help. I am my own mixer. I'm my own masterer. Everything is recorded by me. Every single aspect of it is done by me. And I put together, they're all written. 100% written. I just have to record them. 6 songs, 6 full-length songs. No song is shorter than 3 minutes, to give you some perspective. I think last time I checked, the album clocks in at... Thank you so much. I threw that together today. But yeah, the whole thing is, I think, in total about 40 minutes. It's about 40 minutes long. 6 songs. That whole intro bit is going to be part of it too. I have it in a nice FLAC wave file, 320 kilobits per second, nice and clean, so I can add that to the beginning. But I set that due date. One of them is. But yeah. What was I saying? Right. So the due date of April 28th is the last Friday in April, and it's kind of a stretch goal. Because mixing and mastering does take a while, and there's still some stuff that I have to do. I'm trying to get it all. I have to go through the whole legal thing too, because it's official. And I want to protect, my intellectual property, as they say. I'll get that whole rigmarole out of the way. But the point is, if I can get everything done by April 28th, then the plan is take the whole thing, take the whole album, upload it to YouTube as a one-shot thing altogether, and then present it to the world, See what people think. If they hate it, they hate it. If they like it, they like it. I don't care. I've been wanting to release something for a decade. I'm not kidding. I'm not serious about that. It's been 2 years. But it's been very on and off. Like I said, I'm very spontaneous, and I'm just glad that I have something down on paper. That was the biggest step. Again, I wanted stuff to be done for the end of March, but I've been all over the place. So, music writing's hard. I can give you an idea of how long each track is really quickly. Because they're all written. So, give me 1 second. I'm obviously not going to play them all. And I do need to mix them, so. All right. The first one is, I think, 4.5 minutes. The second one is 7.5. The third one is, I think, running on 6.5. The fourth one is only about 4. The fifth one is, I think, the shortest, also 4. And the last one is 4.5. So no song is 3 minutes. Not a single one. They all have a definite length to them. But what you heard was a very, very quick mix. Very quick mix. I literally have it tabbed in my project files as quick mix because I threw it together and I wanted it to sound decent. Really proud you got to witness this. I appreciate that you've been here. It's really great to have presented it to somebody. Honestly, even if I presented that to nobody, I'm still happy that I presented it because it's off my chest. And now I can actually work on it because I have a goal and I'm not like hiding it from everybody, you know? But yeah, that's the big announcement is I'm working on music. And hopefully it all comes to fruition. I want it to be good. That's the first thing. Music's difficult. And I really hope this goes well too. I personally, again, I'm going to throw myself in the dirt as I always do. I don't think that I'm 100% on everything. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, but getting something out the door to at least say, hey, I've written something is the biggest first step I could possibly make. And to tell you the truth, I've wanted to do this music thing and the streaming thing since I started that musical idea. I wanted to do both in tandem. Because I feel like putting both together is a good idea. And, you know, being able to do both things. But to give a little bit of an idea of where everything is right now, nothing's truly set up because this has just been announced. But I have on YouTube a full multi-management channel to work with all this streaming business. And give me 1 second while I grab the channel URL. There's obviously nothing on it right now. Where the fuck are you? Hold on, it's part of a sub channel. Going around Discord and being like, hey, another guy who made this awesome. Oh man. But yeah, what was I doing? Right. Let me grab the channel link quick. Might as well post it here for the sake of reference. There it is. And post. It's a horrible link. It does have an @ it does have a dedicated @ but that's where I'm going to be posting the music. I was thinking about splitting my Twitter in half too, but I was a little that's probably a bit too much. But I wanted a channel that's dedicated solely to the music side of things, to like separate A from B. Thank you. I wanted to separate A from B. So while it would be nice to like release music under this moniker, on one hand it would put my name and my face together. Thank you so much. It would put my name and my face together. But on the other hand, if I want to do anything like super straightforward with the music and not have it attached to anything, I want that to be independent. So it's essentially like living 2 personas. I'm technically living 3. But that's besides the point. It's not that, I don't think it's that I want people to take the music seriously. I think it's just having it tied to VTubing turns a lot of people off. It does. This isn't for everybody. And music is subjective. I want people to be there for the music and not what it's tied to, you know? I might potentially like do cover songs, and I might potentially add like different things to the main channel. 100%. I have no problem with that. But like releasing fully original music under this specific moniker, no. But it is actually, here's a little Easter egg. Haha! I'm glad you asked. Here's a little Easter egg. So, Originally, I don't remember what the fuck I named it. I really don't. It was something that is lost to the annals of time. But when I debuted as a streamer, I developed some lore for myself, and the lore is, to put it very succinctly, I was a normal guy living in a normal town, and I walked outside one day and found this magical watch that controls time, and then I got hit by a truck and nearly died. This facility grabbed me, repaired me, fixed half of my face and my arm, which you can't see right now. And they christened me, what was it, 0.6, I think was the code name. So that's where that came from. But 0.6 project, the specific reason why I was like, 0.6, that seems pretty cool, is because it's secretly an Easter egg for a direct translation. So if you translate 0.6, all three characters, into Japanese, you get, the first character is, I believe, ne, the second character is ten, and the 6 is roku. So if you read that out, it's Ray 10 Rock. So 0.6 in Japanese is Ray 10 Rock, which, that's a rock band, baby. That's a rock band, baby. I'm so fucking clever and not stupid at all. It's also a project as I'm a solo artist. But yeah, it's tied to the lore, but loosely. Again, there's like 50 layers to everything. 50 fucking layers to everything. This isn't, listen, this may seem like I'm out of the blue with shit. Like, I'm playing 5D fucking chess. Every single idea is intertwined somehow. But eventually, and I'm saying this as a maybe, if I make more music in the future, the plan was to flesh out the lore a little bit more and then make a concept album out of it. That was the initial plan. I might do that in the future. Who knows? That's just that. Leave that on the back burner. I didn't say that. 5D chess a real thing? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is a real thing. But yeah, that's the big announcement I wanted to make. Is I'm making music. Yay! Woo! I wanted to do this for a very long time, and now I can actually do it, and I have a platform to like share it with people, and I'm not like making it out of nowhere. I did originally post a song, gosh, 2 years ago under a completely different name, and it got maybe 7 views, and I was like, maybe I should make more music, and I never made any more music. So I've been doing this for a while. Yeah, it's been a journey. But that's the life of a what do they call them? Bedroom guitarist? Yeah. I at least want to make something out of myself. Like not in an excessive like, oh, I want to become the next like architects. No, I don't want to do that. I just want, here's my genuine statement. And I have thought this from the very fucking beginning. If I could make music that someone can listen to and they go, that made my day better. Like no context. They don't have to like it. They don't have to hate it. All they have to think is that made my day better. Then that's all that I can ask for. No, that's a dumb name. But that's all that I can ask for, genuinely. If I can make music that makes someone somewhere have a better day, then I've done something. And I've impacted someone's life. And that's huge. That's all I can ask for. I don't need the fame. I don't need the money. I don't need any of that. I just want to make music and make people happy. And that's a genuine statement. It also, in turn, makes me happy. Because I can listen to my own tunes. And I know that's slightly narcissistic, but hey, it's true. Some people write music so they can listen to their own tunes, and some people write music so everyone else can listen to their tunes. It just depends. And if I enjoy it, I hope that other people enjoy it too. But that's me being sappy. I'll probably say that again when the whole thing comes out. But yeah, that's for the future. This is the big thing that I want to get off my chest, and I cannot tell you, when I finished everything that I had to do for this stream, it was like an elephant stepped off my shoulders. It was ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. Make people enjoy your tunes. But in all honesty, that That mix that you shared was actually pretty fire, and the last third of it, fucking crazy good. The drum and bass kicked ass. It kicked ass. It kicked so much ass. But yeah, like, seriously, that's the nice thing about music, is it's subjective. It's subjective. People can listen to music and hate it or love it. It's completely subjective. It's completely up to them. And that's why I want to make music, because I believe, honestly, much like I've said with streaming, with VTubing, with playing games, with doing anything, there are 8 billion people on this planet. There is someone, somewhere, who will enjoy what you're doing. Abso-fucking-lutely. There is someone somewhere who will enjoy what you're doing. 110%. It's an impossibility that every single person on this planet hates you. It's a fucking impossibility. It is literally impossible. There are far too many people for that chance to even equal anything other than 0. So, making music, I want people to enjoy. That is my main goal. I'm obviously having barrels of fun streaming. I really love playing video games and chatting about them. I cannot get enough of that. But I'd say my 2 passions are music and games, and they share an equal pedestal in my brain. And I believe that if I can do both, then I have accomplished a lot. And hey, while I'm here, completely separate from family, why don't I just curl up into a little cocoon and come out the other side a beautiful musical butterfly and write shit? It takes some time. It takes some time away from my quote-unquote busy schedule. But yeah, I set that goal for April 28th to see if I can achieve it. If I can't achieve it, I will push it back. And I hate to be that guy, but I will push it back. It's tentative. But if I can get everything done by the end of April, then I think I've done something really cool. So that's the plan. That is the plan moving forward. Honestly, there were I never explicitly stated it, but there were a couple inklings of the fact that I was working on music before. Thank you. There were a couple inklings of the fact that I was working on something pretty cool. You want to see something pretty silly? Watch this. Ready? Let's go back to the starting screen quick. What you're hearing right now, because I'm assuming the mic's still working. What you're hearing right now in the starting screen, this is not a stock soundtrack that I got from anywhere. I wrote this shit. I wrote this shit because I found a guitar effect on my old digital amp that I was like, ooh, this sounds good. Let me make something out of it. I wrote this shit. I also animated the full intro, but that's... I'll probably change it eventually. And on top of that, you're gonna hear this at the end, as long as it works. But I wrote this too. I wrote this shit too. Everything I've done has been 100% by myself. I need help. I need fucking help. I swear. But yeah, everything I've done up to this point has been completely by myself. I just recently started like looking for assets from artists and like commissioning people. So it has taken me this long to properly spread my wings and do that, but like everything to this point I've done 100% me. Except the Discord server, obviously that is thanks to the wonderful Miyako Morningstar, who is a Discord wizard. Made like 5 different Discords already, kind of insane. But yeah, like it's fucking unbelievable. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But you know what it came down to? And I think this is like truly the message that I want to put out there. I was both unmotivated and terrified for a long time because I am a perfectionist. I am. One of the songs on the fucking EP is called Perfectionist. just to give you a fucking example. I'm a hardcore perfectionist. I want everything to be at least at least 100% good to me. And I have fucking impossibly high standards. So when I like did all this streaming thing and I threw it all together, I really took a step back and said, what can I possibly do just as me? Yeah, of course. What can I possibly do just as me? And I realized my limits, and I've improved over time. I think my biggest example of improving over time is, let's go back to the starting screen. Let's go back to the starting screen. This is when I first got After Effects. I made this back in November. It's not perfect, but it has the inklings of like, oh, okay, I kind of understand what the hell I'm doing. But it took like a solid 2-3 days, and I was very, very uncomfortable with using After Effects. This trailer, I kid you not, took me 5 hours. 5 fucking hours. That is all that this took me to show how much I have improved with After Effects. And I'm fucking proud of this shit. I whipped this together in 5 hours and I was like, this is good. This is good presentation. I'm gonna talk over it because I can commentate over my own damn trailer. But yeah, I started back in November, and the main point of all this is you gotta put your fucking finger forward and do shit. Let's listen to this again. I'm so happy with how I mixed this. I'm so fucking happy. I didn't do that on purpose. It's not perfectly mixed, mind you. But it's decent for what I wanted to get going forward. Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope. Yeah, let's hope. I really appreciate that. To spoil a little bit, that like little opening bit was from the first track. That was part of Information Age. It's the first 30 seconds of it. The track doesn't really kick in until another 10 seconds after that. But that's the introduction. So, but yeah, to like, I've been moving back and forth, just kind of expressing how I've gotten to the point where I am. But the whole, because I'm gonna end in a couple minutes because it's fucking 2 a.m. I need to take a rest. But to like double down and say properly what this all has been. I realized that doing a bunch of shit and not like just fucking going for it does nothing. You're not going to present a fucking research paper without actually writing it and then sending it in. You're not. So what I realize is bite the bullet and just fucking turn the camera on. That was what I said to myself when I started streaming. Bite the bullet and turn the fucking camera on. Once you get used to it, it's like second nature. But it's that first little inkling of fucking do it. You just gotta. It's the angel and the devil. The devil's telling you no, you're never gonna be good enough, and the angel's telling you just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Just do it. Make your dreams come true, Shia LaBeouf. But sincerely, I think a lot of people don't realize how big of a step that truly is. It takes so much to go from, I don't know if I'm gonna, just fucking do it. Just do it. Just go. The moment you take that barrier to entry away and you just say, I'm gonna fucking do this, you can do so much. It's unbelievable. I realized that by streaming and by like writing and doing all this stuff, and now I've revealed this project that I'm working on, now I have a goal. Now I have a set goal. And of all the people I could possibly disappoint by making things worse or not getting it on time, it's me. And that alone is a motivating factor. if I disappoint myself, that is the worst crime. So I want this to go as well as I possibly can, and I want to really enjoy myself. And that's the biggest thing. Fucking bite the bullet, turn the camera on, just go out and do it. Seriously. You won't get anything done sitting and doing nothing. And I've learned that, time and time again. Time and fucking time again. Do they blink sideways? No, it's just the glasses. But anyway, I think, yeah, I need to get some rest and continue working on the EP that's not done yet. It's 75% of the way there, and I'm having fun with it, but it's not perfectly mixed. And I definitely have a couple things I have to add. But today has been fun. Today has been a huge trip, and I've enjoyed every second of it. It went so much smoother than the karaoke. Oh, I can't believe how much fucking smoother it went than the karaoke. I'm glad you've had fun. I'm absolutely going to do this again. I'm absolutely going to play guitar again because it's my passion. I just have to... I would love to just sit and jam, but my mind wanders within split seconds when I hold a guitar in my hands. So I definitely have to like plan some stuff out. I'm glad you were here. I'm really glad you were here. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna do all this again. Probably not in such a formal, like, end of the month sort of way. But if it's like, hey, I'm gonna play a guitar and do stuff, it's like, yes, plan for the week, you know? But I've had a blast. And this is probably the biggest, like, this is shit I can do stream, and I'm happy that I did it. So we'll see what the future holds. Now that March is over, we're gonna get back into the normal swing of things where I just do weekly schedules and play games like a normal person and not go completely balls to the wall. Thank you. I'm done rambling for today. I hope that everyone who has showed up has had a wonderful time. And now I'm gonna say my final spiel and play that trailer one more time, and then I'm gonna get some rest. For anyone watching, for anyone who came in during the stream, thank you so much. Always happy to chat. For anyone watching the VOD, good to see you as well. Hope you enjoyed my my music, and I really hope you will wait warmly for me to finish this whole project that I've got going here. I'm gonna take a well-deserved 2-day break, and then I'll be back on Monday with whatever chaotic nonsense I decide. I probably need to play... yeah, no worries. I post a bunch of messages too when I'm in other people's chats. But yeah, I'll probably... I need to figure out what to play, because I probably have to start up a full game again, but April's gonna be busy, because I got other, like, real-life shit that's gonna start up. But that's besides the point. Alright, I'm gonna take 5, and by take 5, I mean take, like, 8 hours and sleep. And I will be back whenever I'm back, which is Monday. So I will see you then. Hope you enjoyed your stay in the abode. I need to remove this this EP from here. I want to play that trailer one more time, and then I will see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.